Welcome to another edition of Cool Things in Power BI. Today we'll be talking about Model Explorer and calculation groups. Have you ever struggled with large models when it comes to finding tables or fields? Do you have measures where you need different iterations of that measure for different time periods? These can be difficult for your report authors to work with. In this video, we're going to show you how Model Explorer and calculation groups can help fix that problem. Given that Power BI updates monthly, it's easy for things to fall to the wayside when it comes to new features. That's why you have us at Senturus to help you wade through all of these different things and see which ones will give you the most benefit. Model Explorer and calculation groups are things we feel will help you in your day-to-day work. Model Explorer, while in preview, has been around for a few months. When we enable this option, we get a new tab in our data pane, which we'll see in a moment when we look at the demo. This feature allows us to work with large models with ease. It also allows us to quickly see relationships in these large models. When we turn on Model Explorer, that allows for calculation groups. Calculation groups have been featured in previous webinars and blogs, but those leveraged a third-party tool, Tabular Editor. Now this functionality is available directly in Power BI. Calculation groups allow us to reduce down the number of measures in a model. Let's take a look at both of these new features in action. Since Model Explorer is still a new feature, we first have to enable it. We do that by going to File, Options and Settings, Option, and under Preview Features, we'll find Model Explorer and Calculation Group Authoring. With that enabled, when we go to our model view, we now have a new tab. Here, we can view and organize all of our items. So we can see if we have any calculation groups. We can take a look at any languages that may be here. The nice thing is being able to see all of our relationships in one place. So this gives us a lot of new information. We can also see if we have any implicit measures. We have the ability to discourage implicit measures. An implicit measure is when data items from the source are dragged directly onto a visualization. This is when we see the summarization icon next to a measure in our data pane. By setting this property, modelers will be able to force report authors to create explicit DAX measures. Explicit DAX measures can result in better overall performance and leverage all of the DAX functionality. This goes hand in hand with creating calculation groups. It can help performance and reduce the overall size of our query. Let's take a look now at how to create a calculation group. At the top in the ribbon, we see we have a new button, the Calculation Group button. When we click this, this will automatically discourage us from using implicit measures. Once we say yes, we can begin to define our group. This is done in the DAX formula bar and is pre-populated with selected measure. Calculation groups are extremely beneficial for creating time-intelligent measures. Let's use this as our starting point, and we will call this current. So the selected measure will represent the current or actual. Notice that this shows up over here in our model view. From here, we can create additional entries for each of our time periods. We do this using DAX. If we right-click the calculation items, we can do a new calculation item, which brings up our DAX bar. And we'll call this one month to date. For this, we'll use some specific DAX. Here we've defined month to date as the calculation of the selected measure for the date's month to date using the field dim order date, date. When we add this, now we have current and month to date. Let's go back to our report view and see what this looks like. Now that we have our current and our month to date, let's put these on a visualization. We're going to start with a matrix. There's a couple things we need to make sure that we remember. In order to use time period functions, this table must be marked as a date table, and because we're now using calculation groups, we can no longer use implicit measures. So we have to create an explicit DAX measure for the measure we want to use. So let's put our total sales onto values, and we're going to go ahead and put year month on the rows, and then we'll put our calculation group on the columns. As you can see, one field gives us our current and our month to date. Now, in this particular case, those values are the same, but we could also have quarter to date, year to date, prior month last year, any number of these that, again, for our report author, they just have to drag over one field. Now you can see that Model Explorer and calculation groups will help you in your day-to-day work by being able to quickly and easily use large models, and with calculation groups making report development faster by having less that an author has to go through. In addition, calculation groups will help you make sure that everybody is using the same formula in their reports because they'll be predefined. All of this is integrated and ready to go today without the need for third-party tools. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like to know when more of these are available, please like and subscribe. If you'd like help getting started with Model Explorer or calculation groups, reach out to us at any of the information you see below. Thank you.